Alright guys, so I had an order for 4 of these little Karadeshis come in, and the customer wants his son-in-law's initials. From my understanding, they're all for his son-in-law's, and he wants their initials engraved in them. So I figured, why not show y'all how I do this? So first things first, move these over to the side, and you can do it wherever, but I'm kind of upstairs with the kids, so I'm going to do it up here. So first you want to degrease the blades best you can. So I'm just going to take some acetone and wipe down the blades. Now I'm not too worried about back here, so it's okay if I hold it, but you want to get them as clean as possible. No fingerprints, no nothing down there. So that one's done. Move on to the next one. Alright, those are good. So I'm going to flip them around just so they're kind of facing me, and I'm going to use the grind line as kind of like a indicator to keep the stuff kind of even. So let me make sure it's still in shot. Yeah, y'all are in shot. Alright, so there's several ways you can get letters or whatever you're gonna engrave. I started out, I would go to Michael's or Walmart, wherever, and get the stickers with the letters. But for Christmas this past year, I bought my wife a Cricut, so I make my own now. You can kind of pick and choose the font and everything you want. So we're just going to take these and stick them on there. Make sure I get the right initials with the right ones. Alright. So the first one is ZLM. Get this little tool right here. So all we're going to do is take this little tool. Now you can probably do it with transfer paper and make it a little bit easier, but this isn't too bad. So we're just going to take and stick that on there. That one needs to come up a little bit higher to be even. Alright, that's that one. The second one is WBM. And you're probably wondering, I said I had an order for 4 of these. 2 of them is for him. He wanted a matching set, a right and a left-handed one, because he's left-handed, but he wanted 2, so. Alright, now that I got those on there, I'm going to take this other tool and kind of, look at this, I'm just kind of going to push down on them. Make sure I ain't got a part of that napkin that had acetone on it. I'm just going to push them down. Make sure they're kind of firm or stuck to there. Alright, now the next step is we paint our fingernails. No, this is just what I use as kind of like a barrier to keep the acid from etching parts of the steel that I don't want it to. But my wife, I have a wife and 3 girls, so I have tons of this stuff. So you're just going to liberally put it on where you don't want the acid to etch, and you don't want to skimp on this part, because any opposed steel will be etched. And we're just going to take and paint right over these things. And I'm very liberal with this stuff, guys. Like I said, you don't want to skimp on this. You know, this stuff, if you don't have girls, you don't have a girlfriend that paints her nails, or you just don't have this stuff lying around, or she just doesn't want to share, you can go to the Dollar General or I think it's a Dollar General, and get this stuff for like $1 a bottle. And a bottle will go a long ways. So as you can see, I've got that pretty globbed on there, so we're just going to leave that be. Come over to this one. And before I forget, you do want the finish of your blades to be where they're going to be at the end product. You don't want to be doing, after you engrave these, you don't want to be doing a whole lot of grinding on them. You can do a little bit of polishing, but if you do a whole lot of grinding, then you'll ruin the engraving. You know, you can grind it out. Just depends on how deep you decide to go, but you just want to be careful with that. So that's as high as I'm gonna go on that one. Make sure I got it all covered on this front, because we're gonna do the sides. I can go ahead and do the sides now. We're gonna do the sides, the back, everywhere that's going to be in the acid that you don't want it to touch. You want to be painted. Now, if you watch how some of the more traditional people do it, and you can do it this way too, is they will coat the blade in a thin coat of beeswax, and then take a awl or something and scratch the design in through the beeswax, and obviously that would reveal the steel. And then they use especially in Finland with them like puukko style knives, they would use nitric acid. Today we're going to be using ferric chloride, and I'll show you that more when we get to it. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is let this pretty much dry. If I see any areas that I'm concerned about, like right here by the B, I don't know if the camera will pick it up real good, but there's just a little dot. That was kind of looking a little bare. Alright. Now we'll let this dry pretty much all the way, and then we'll go in there and pull the stickers out. When this is dry, guys, I'll come back to you. We'll pull the stickers out, we'll flip it over, and we'll do the back. Alright, so now what we're going to do is just take and peel these off. Carefully. There we go. There's that one. Set that over there. Kind of bring this one in. Do the same thing. Alright. So there we go. Now I'm going to let these completely dry on this side. Flip it over. We'll paint the back. We'll touch up the sides. Make sure the sides don't need anything else. And then we'll go into the acid. So when we're all ready to go into the acid, I'll bring you back. Like I said, guys, it's just as simple as painting the back side and the sides as good as we did the front. Alright guys, so here it is. This is just close to a 50-50 mix. Probably a little weaker on the acid side, but that's alright. We'll take both blades, make sure they're fully coated everywhere we want it to be, and we're just gonna sink them in there. I may need to add a little bit more, but there we go. I think I will add just a touch more of the actual acid. Alright guys, and then I'm just going to let them set for about 15-20 minutes. We'll check on them and see how the progress is coming. Alright guys, so it's been about 30 minutes or so, so we're just going to pull these out, take a look at them. See that one right there? We're going to put this in a mixture of water and baking soda, and that just kind of neutralizes the acid. Keeps it from etching anymore. Set that aside. And there's that one right there. Do the same thing. Alright, there's that one. Now, set these aside. So what we need to do now is clean all the nail polish off. And for that, I'm just going to use a little more acetone. Alright guys, there's the first one, and as you can see, it's pretty good engraved. I mean, you can feel it down in there. So there's that one. Alright, and there's that one. And that's how that one looks. So, and like I said guys, see right here where you can see the color differences of the two? This part wasn't even in the acid, but just being in that environment kind of tints the color of the steel. So that's why it's imperative that you put fingernail polish on everything you don't want to change. This is going to be covered up by the handle, so I mean I'm going to rough this up a little bit anyway, so that doesn't matter. But you know, if this part if this was going to be like a finish to just metal handle, or something like that, a textured handle, then you would want all this to be covered, or else you'd have to go back and repolish it and everything. So anyway, guys, there it is. That's one way I etch letters into my knives. Now, I don't do it often, but every once in a while a customer wants it, and this is probably the easiest way that I've found to do it. Thank y'all for following along, guys. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next one.